Hello, hello, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing and wondrous people have agreed to come and join me from halfway around the world to play a game today. They're amazing, and so let's talk about them for a second. Let's start with Brochan. Tell us about yourself while I hit
Okay.
your links.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bril or Brilchan because I was 11 when I made up that username and I got too used to it, and even it's silly. And I'm not as cute as Chan would made you to believe. But I today I will be playing John Doe Deer, a crazy jungle bird of a person who is a pompous aristocrat, and an I forget the day of the week. I'm also playing in another game where I'll play the biggest communist in town, and it's Cyberpunk Red with Bison, and where Kevin plays here sometimes, and
Sometimes.
he's a funny monk
Sometimes I'm here and
guest
sometimes
appearance.
I'm not.
Yep, and today, because this community is so lovely, I thought about I will start to promote my Instagram. I like when I go to walks. I sometimes find fun, mysterious things, and I like to do gorilla cell phone photos of these strange things I find on the street or at night, or flowers, or mysterious vials and stuff like that.
Wonderful.
It's only around 10 pictures, but I will add more.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That link is in chat along with the link for our other guest for this evening, our other player. Thank you very much for joining us. Janet, your link is already up there, but tell us about yourself and what you do when you're not here.
Hi, I'm I'm playing tonight again because I really like it and I want soon play more games. On my channel I doing stuff related to video games and animation. And if we talk about nicks, my nick Janet is from that I'm big fan of Michael Jackson, and Janet Jackson was his favorite sister. So I make that
Oh, it's
nick.
wonderful. Thank you for sharing your origin story for your name. I had no idea. That's really cool. Ah, but that's the important people. Now I got to do the important technical stuff. Uh, the game we're playing tonight was inspired by a system called Grok, but we're playing it on a system called Quest. Long story, don't ask. The character art was done using Hero Forge, and the art from the background image here is actually from the Grok rulebook. So, with that, I think we could start.
Hooray!
Past 7 forests, over 7 mountains, and beyond 7 rivers. Two disparate heroes, so unlike as to defy comparison, are saving the day, and I don't think they're even aware that they're doing it. We're going to join them pretty much right where we left them, at the end of a highway from nowhere to nowhere. A brilliant idea brought a literal avalanche of problems down on a large paper crab, basically crushing everyone on it and utterly obliterating what could have been basically a minor boss battle with one shot. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then to top it all off, they're cleaning up the mess like no party ever. They're cleaning up their mess. Epic. And we're going to join them just as they finish the last piece of obsidian rubble, the last little sticks and bits and pieces of this giant strand beast are pulled off the road. And the path is once again clear. But dawn is starting to rise. So it's going to be time to settle in for the evening. let's start with Ashley. Was there anything you wanted to do before you released Dizzy into the wilderness and to feed and went to bed?
No,
No,
maybe
okay.
grab some food and let her to shelter.
Right. Okay. Because you've got the ability. So yeah, you burn a couple points to do that, and then you'll get them back when you sleep. So we're not even going to keep track of them. So yeah, so you use your skills and abilities, especially in this rubble. It'd be easy to protect people from the sun here. So you get that set up, taking care of all the merchant marines, so that instead of having to sleep inside their strand beasts tonight, at least they'll be able to sleep out. Well, today they'll be able to sleep out outside. John.
John would finish up his last sentence. There was a star in his magic book as an ensign, and then will my beloved friends and colleagues. I'm very sorry that I couldn't have been more help, but I do have a magic tent that can take 30 people, so me and 29 other people, and I want to throw a non-alcoholic party for our hero of the hour, Janet. So me,
Ashley.
Janet,
Ashley. Ashley.
sorry, Janet, who is also Elizabeth, who is also
No.
Janet, who
No.
is our angel.
None of those
I'm
things.
not sure what's your name. You are so awesome. You deserve 10 names, my dear friend. So please, I wanted to throw a party in my tent for you because that
Absolutely. Yeah.
was so amazing.
And we're gonna stretch that tent too. If they're not gonna be
Hey,
sleeping inside there, they can they get food and all that good stuff. Yeah,
my
Ashley.
character,
Mm-hmm.
my character is unsure she should join this party because she is tired
Mm-hmm.
after a day.
Oh, please
And
join just for a moment.
Ashley.
You're the star of the show, my dear.
Dizzy comes up behind you and kind of bends down very, very gently and uses their head to kind of bump you between the shoulders to go.
okay, okay, but how I return to my shelter in the sun between this tent and shelter?
Mm-hmm. Am I right in thinking that you kind of just sort of go in and stay near the door and sort of stay near the edge of the tent and like you make an appearance, but you're not in the middle of the party, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I actually don't like the attention,
Oh, of
but
course. Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
John will do for everything to make her
Yeah,
attention.
yeah, he would like try to be her hype man. Like,
Uh,
isn't she amazing? Like, she saved us from this crazy thing and that crazy thing, and he would start reading short excerpt from his book, like making Ashley into some sort of Xena episode, like Xena were a princess. Like the night is
But
so.
but he will put her inside then more, or he will not.
He wouldn't force her, but he would try to convince her. Please have some water. Please sit on this pretty pillow. It fits your skin tone. Like, he wouldn't be forceful. He wouldn't force her, but he would try to like uh, find her a nice spot. Like, to not be the center of attention, but to be near the center,
yeah.
so she
Okay.
can feel comfortable, but also bask in the glory, because she is in his mind. She is the sun in his party, and he is the moon.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he's not good at astrology, but in his mind he is the moon that dances around the sun, which is Ashley.
Okay.
And
But
that is the
Yeah.
I'm curious how other people react at
this is
Ashley
this
in
is what
this
we were
tent.
just about to get to. A lot of people are they come in, they listen, they have some food, some drink, and they just sort of head back out again. Some of them are buying into it and are like, yeah, yeah, but there is well, you've gotten settled in on this sort of duvet covered bench. And for the moment, John is over on the other side of the room praising your skills, and you hear beside you an older woman's voice, and she leans in and she says, "You look like you've had about enough of this, dear.
Yeah, oh, you know.
Um, I let's just say I can get you out of here.
Thank you, Savior.
Let me introduce you to the world's most impressive." And she starts pulling something all cloth and material out from underneath this little bench that she's sitting on. And she starts pushing buttons on it, programming it. And she says, "Are you familiar with scarecrows, dear?"
Yeah,
Well,
because I'm from farm.
well, perfect. In that case, you also know that as long as it's close and she's hitting buttons and the hair colors change, it's starting to kind of pop up into like a human figure. The hair colors changing, the eyes are changing, the face is kind of going. This is a robotic copycat machine basically, and she's looking at you and programming it to look like you. She says, "Okay, close enough. Nobody's going to notice. You've seen the lighting in here? It is so garishly lit in here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, roll out of position."
Uh, Ashley, run away
Just
because, because, because people can't see two of Ashleys because it
absolutely.
would be worried.
Yeah. So you kind of just duck and roll for the door, and behind you, you kind of hear as she slams this big doll that looks kind of like you onto the bench. Ashley, we're not going to make you make a roll for it. You just bolt, like just do the invisible person. The introvert has been allowed to go home, so you're just like straight to the door, right? Just boom, gone, just like a little
And
dust
the doll is
dust cloud.
sitting, smiling, and
Yeah,
waving his hand from time to time.
yeah, but just you're headed for the door, like the road runner, right? It's just a cloud of dust and gone.
Yeah.
You get outside the door, and Dizzy is rolling around on the ground laughing. And then
And I'd say, from what you allowed.
uh, and they go through an elaborate mime of you sitting on the couch trying to look comfortable, and then start laughing again.
And I do, I do facepalm and say, allowed, you, how many you want? And she go to her shelter and sleep.
Yeah, actually, as you say that, Dizzy kind of bows and gestures with their little tiny arm towards your tent. You can tell they're actually proud of you for going in and doing it.
Yep.
And then they settle down in front of your shelter to guard as usual. Except shortly thereafter, as the party's winding down and everybody's going to bed, um, it's time for the TRXs to go feed. So
John
this,
wouldn't notice that doll Ashley is a doll. He would just think she is going to sleep sitting, and he would put a
yeah,
cover on the,
yeah,
on the doll and
yeah.
like
The
pillows.
battery runs down on the doll, and so it kind of just
Yeah,
and he just puts the blanket on it and
yeah,
walks out. Perfect,
yeah.
and goes to bed. So the two, you notice, Ashley, because you're outside. The two, when they take off the saddles, it's like turning off. They're off the clock now, right? When they head out into the gathering sunlight to hunt, the TRXs look like the apex predators that they are, and they, unlike you guys, look completely unfazed by everything that's happened so far. But apex predators are weird. You guys get a beautiful day's sleep. Nothing bothers you at all. You wake up just as the sun is going down. and you can see, because it's all at the same end, right? Because the sun never moves. It's always at the North Pole. It just goes down and comes up and goes down and comes up. That's all that happens. But you can see against that the TRX is returning. Dizzy is first, and he just kind of jogs into camp. And then Hermes comes around second, and he kind of runs in a big curve. And you can hear bark, bark in the distance as he comes roaring in. His goggles are around his neck. One eye is bigger than the other one, and it's pulsing. Hermes is wasted. Hermes really likes to eat a very specific brand of toad. And he found one today. He scratches at a leg that isn't there, squawks, and then looks to see who did it. He is messed up. He walks over to his saddle and goes under it backwards, and then looks at the saddle like it's its fault, and backs out from under the saddle and turns around and has to look over his shoulder and back in like a semi-trier. He's actually going bark, 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 bark as he backs up underneath the seat. Finally gets there, does up the straps, takes about 10 steps, stops, backs up to 10 steps and looks over at you like he forgot to wait for you to get on.
John would be up a little earlier because he was studying his family's magic grimoire
Yeah,
to learn a new spell,
yeah.
a new combat spell.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're having fun, but have you got any more of that stuff that we're on?" "Oh no, I have to work." "That's true. But maybe I will be more magical." Have
You know,
any more?"
You know from experience that if you were to eat these toads, it would kill you.
Oh.
It's the toxin that's getting him buzzed. He's so tough that like poison dart frog toxin just gets him buzzed.
John wouldn't know that, but maybe Ashley. would
Either
tell
way,
him.
yeah, he's wasted and he didn't leave any for you. Yeah.
Actually, check it is Hermes, but she thinks that she can't find the medium because she don't have ingredients how
Mhm.
to help
Yeah.
Hermes.
No antidote.
You
This will be a fun ride.
you said you checked on him though, but you do like he's healthy. There's nothing unhealthy physically. Like he's not being hurt by the things that he's taken or anything like that. He's just impaired.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
gotta work. Yeah,
But
Ashley.
he should take some meds
Mhm.
because he don't look good.
Actually,
Drink
you
some
have
water.
Ashley?
Don't get dehydrated.
Ashley, you have a skill called remedy. If you burn one action point, you can, by definition, find the antidote right here.
I want.
Done. Okay. So you look around, and what you find is this little tiny mushroom. It looks like a rock, which is why it's so hard to find. But you find this little tiny mushroom. And weirdly, to get off of one drug, you kind of have to put him on this other one. It will balance them out, and he will be more or less normal.
I do.
Okay. So you come over to him with this little rock mushroom in your hand, and he looks at it and goes,
I forced him to eat because
"Yep,
he needs to be
yep."
better.
He has to follow instructions. So yeah, you reach up, kind of grab the back of his neck and pull him down. He's ah, and he comes down, and he looks around, and his eye goes back to normal, and he puts his goggles back on.
Seeing that to kind of cheer him up, John would take some bits of the rock from the avalanche
Yeah.
and made a very pretty like shell out of rocks.
Okay, yeah.
Please, I'm very sorry. I thought that would be a fun ride today. But how about I will cheer you up with this pretty friendship bracelet for your pretty neck.
Just out of character. John, you are outrageously lucky that Ashley insisted on antidoting your monster chicken because he was, yeah, you were going on a ride if she hadn't have done this. So yes, you bring him down
Ashley saves the day once more.
without even knowing it. Yeah. So with that, you see him kind of shake it off. He's like, oh, and he bucks a bunch of noise at Dizzy, like he's talking to Dizzy. And Dizzy turns to you, Ashley, and because of your new ability, you can now hear them. Uh,
And what I hear,
you hear them say, "He's he knows better. Thank you." And Dizzy turns and back to Hermes, but you can hear Dizzy's side of it in your head. It's like, you're at work, jackass. You don't do this at work. I got no problem with you getting whatever, but not at work. Right, so
I say why.
and Dizzy turns to you, and you get this wave of duty, this sense of duty. And what you feel is like, I signed up. I'm sentient just like you. I signed on the dotted line just like you did. I'm here to do a job.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I bet Dizzy.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, John is all dolled up in the obsidian rocks, and his predicate is now in obsidian, like an obsidian chainmail armor.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Because he was just bored and he wanted to look pretty with no, not Mercury. With his
Hermes.
friend.
Hermes.
Yes, Hermes. He wanted to
Remind me.
accessorize.
I'll send you a list.
Yeah.
I know it's the middle of the night. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna bug you about it a little bit. Anyway,
No problem.
because Hermes was brought down from one day I'll share.
Sleep.
One day I'll share what was going to happen, but not today. Tonight's trip is flawless. It's beautiful. There's not a sign of trouble anywhere. It's just quiet contemplation through the night. All of the merchant marine are happy because they got to move around a little bit. They got to sleep outside their strand beasts. As the sun starts to come up, there's a little more wind than usual, so the strand beasts are charging up their batteries based on the wind power. But it keeps getting stronger, and it keeps getting stronger. You can see a very rare thing on this planet coming over the horizon. A cloud. A big, flat bottom, towering stratocumulus storm cell.
Ashley said to herself, oh no,
Oh no,
Storm.
indeed.
storm is coming.
You can see every once in a while out of the bottom of it, a tornado drops and kind of does that elephant trunk thing where it moves across the ground and then draws back up again. The wind is moving slightly sort of from your right to your left, and it takes you a second, and it would definitely be Ashley, the ranger, that noticed this. The cloud isn't moving in the same direction as the wind. The cloud is coming straight at you.
I'm thinking, and
John is
ask-
so busy
and
doing
ask-
recognition.
Let's let
Sorry.
Ashley finish the
I
sentence.
want,
Yeah.
I want to ask Chef of Merits if they have anything to protect Caravana from storm.
Yeah, because you're friends with Bob, right? The head of the caravan, right? So
Yeah,
he says, well, we got a couple choices. We could scatter the convoy and everybody goes to ground and hopes that they do all right and then join up after. Or we could try and run around it. Or we could try and run back into
But-
the darkness, but I don't think those are going to
but-
work.
but even if we scatter it, what happened with machines? they could be destroyed in storm.
As horrible as it is to say, the reason we scatter is so if we do get hit, only one or two get lost, and not all.
I don't know. We can bullet any protection, some sort. I don't know. Shelter or
Could I join the
something.
conversation?
Yeah,
Seeing that
Yeah.
they are talking. So, is this a cloud or a creature? I think I have a new spell that can help with that. A magic
cloud.
hammer of destruction. I
Yeah.
can try and disperse the cloud. Do you want me to try it?
try, but I doubt we work
Okay.
because it's cloud.
Well, let's find
So-
out.
Okay.
What is this
The
spell? I want to hear
big
this.
magic
I only
spell.
worry this will be more clouds when you will hammer it.
Okay.
It'll break into two smaller clouds. No, only one way to find out.
Yeah.
I love
Then
that
he's
idea.
like doing a whole chant in Latin. It's a long chant,
Yeah.
and he's waving his hands, and he manifests a big rainbow colored, like disco ball of a hammer. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not a hammer. It's a disco ball on a long stick, and
Yeah.
he tries to swat out the cloud
Okay.
from the sky.
So
And
I'm
he
gonna
would
do
use
this
like
to I'm gonna do this to you, but because I'm gonna do this to you, don't pay the action points for casting that spell.
okay, because I wanted to use 6 points. Like it's 3 normally,
Yeah.
but since it's a big cloud, he would use the double amount of power.
Okay. I'm still not going to make you burn them because here's what
Yep,
happens. You
no
make this
problem.
weapon come screeching in from on high, the disco ball of infinite doom. And as it comes down, a tornado drops out of the bottom of the storm, and your disco ball goes like a pickup truck in Arkansas, just gone and smashes and
That
disappears into
looks
shattering
so
dust.
cool.
Because yeah, it's like an 800-mile-an-hour disco ball down a tornado, gets to the ground level, and it gets spit out like something coming out of the bottom of a lawnmower, right? And then just shatters across the landscape.
I don't think it's a cloud. I think it's a creature.
It's certainly
And
not
we just
just
attacked
a
it.
cloud. That tornado that hit the ground and just did that to your weapon
Spell. Yeah.
now it's on the ground and it's kind of like it stops for a second and almost like it sniffs, and then it starts moving directly towards the convoy.
Do you have any shield spell or anything like that more useful?
I have a shield. I seen a shield spell, but it's only personal shield, so it wouldn't be helpful. I was training to be a merchant. It takes a really long time to find those combat spells in my old family book grimoire.
Especially when your
Like,
parents are going, just learn accounting, just learn accounting.
yes, I was supposed to learn how to look at people and how to read their minds and feelings. I'm just learning combat on the fly, Ashley.
With that,
Actually, do this, and she thinking what to do because these machines are too slow to run
they
walk
are.
around.
I'm going to ask Ashley to make just a sort of a general roll to see, sort of almost like a perception roll. Do you have any skills that would help with that? Actually, you do. I've got them here. Let's use track. So, well, kind of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a roll for you. The 4 is not your roll. That was what was already there. Let's hit the button. A 20, a natural 20. Okay, this is perfect because from this distance, that's about what it was going to take. So this is an above and beyond success here. Even at this distance, Ashley, you can see that tornado is being controlled. And the thing that's controlling it is inside it. With that 20, I'm also going to give you it's an unnaturally powerful tornado. You're not going to be able to shoot through it, cast spells through it, anything like that. To affect what's inside it, steering it, you're going to have to go inside it. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get through the shield wall.
I went with Johnny, go and ask him to me do shit, and I went up from
Mhm.
somewhere high to this tornado.
I don't
Okay.
have a shield spell. But I can jump in the tornado and convince the thing in the tornado.
Okay, jump.
Okay, so
Okay. One question.
I've got some
I'm
questions
not
too, but you go
trying-
first. Yep.
Okay. I'm not trying to cast at the tornado, but I wanted to cast Soul Gaze to get to know what is the motivation of the person, the traits and motivations of the person inside the tornado. Like, what can I offer them to not kill us?
Okay.
Like, that's the idea.
This one will get you to burn the action points to cast that spell because you get something back. You get back just raw, unadulterated greed. All that you see in their head is a tornado of gold and valuables being sucked up. They want to wreck the convoy and then come back and get all the good bits.
Yeah, and I tell it to Ashley. I don't think why everybody on this planet it's non-negotiable. It's too much greed at this crazy place.
It's
There are cities and towns
It's-
coming. Your skills will be
Actually,
useful.
actually say it's normal life. But John, grow
Mhm.
up.
So, I'm
I'm
assuming
very grown.
I'm assuming that am I right in assuming that the two of you are going to try and get into the tornado?
Yes.
Ashley
Yes.
as well? Okay. Questions. Are you taking the TRXs?
Yes.
They're more than ready to
Okay.
go. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not
Uh,
sure because I
yes.
don't want hard and
Mhm.
easy.
They could this passing through this absolutely could cause above the table 2 points. It could cause damage to your creatures.
Yeah.
They've got 10 just like you. So
And let's tell Bob to try to hide. I would tell him that
I
it's some
was
person controlling
I
them.
was to Daisy that wait for me. Stay here.
okay. So you jump off of Dizzy and
But I would take Hermes. Come on, pal. We're gonna fight together, arm in arm.
you
We're
get
gonna
the
go inside.
just before you bolt off on Hermes, because you're going to get there first because you're
Yeah.
on Hermes, it's faster. Hermes turns and to Dizzy. Dizzy relays the message, so to speak, to Ashley. Hermes says, "Thank you. This would have been really bad if I was still seeing shit." This wasn't even the thing. This was the fifth or sixth thing that was going to be going on. So, yeah. You're going to fight a tornado. Absolutely, you are. So, with that, Hermes pulls his goggles down and just the running T-Rex, right, with the back flat, neck extended, tail out the back, and they've got feathers on the back, just at high speed towards this tornado. In
And
the
John is
wake of
singing
that,
the rate of Valkyries.
yeah, and in you go. Behind that, in the dust cloud, I love the silhouette shots. This whole visual novel is full of silhouette shots because that's the two of you up at the front and the music coming off of that, and then much behind that, there's this smaller human figure, Ashley, just jogging along, catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, John, you get there first. Head down, go through. What's the plan?
Yeah, but just I don't know if I have some straps. to strap myself
All
into
part of the yep. Yeah.
like
And just
hugging Hermes and doing the whole no
I
what
promise to
the
remember your
Wizard of
name.
Oz. Yes, the house in the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
All right. And you
We
prepare
are
and you just
trying to
dive in.
get to
And
serve the
it's like being
Cowabunga.
it's
Let's
like being
serve the
shot
wind.
with a salt shotgun just over and over and over again. It's like being dragged down gravel. It's hideous.
Yeah.
But with a 19, you manage to succeed. You get in with no damage. One whole side of you, kind of the color's gone out of most of your cloak because it's like sandblasted, and you go, and a
The
whole bunch of dust comes off of this side of your face. Hermes'
the
goggles are
obsidian
spun
help.
sideways and full of dirt, but
The obsidian mesh help.
Yep, a little bit,
with
yep.
no damage.
You smash through, and I'm gonna hold on for a second before I tell you
Yes,
what you see,
definitely. Let's wait
because
for
I want to
Ashley.
see Ashley. You come, you see that through that sand
Actually,
wall. Yep.
before jump to storm, she strike hide her face under clothing and
Just-
hood.
Yep. Perfect. And you charge through. Oh my goodness, a 4. You trip because you can't see. And just before you hit the ground, suddenly you feel something grab the back of your shirt and just yoink you up. And you can smell dizzy. And they force their way through the shield wall with you.
And I say, but you're supposed to wait for me. Why are you doing here?
And as
Power
soon as
of
you
friendship.
kind of the two of you land inside, you turn and say that, and he kind of looks away and does a chicken trying to whistle and look nonchalant. He's
I hack the Daisy.
Oh.
and there's a chicken with a full grown grin. And as you look up, you see above you, about 30 meters up. It's an octocopter. It's an 8-bladed quad, just humming there in the middle of the eye of the storm. And on top of it, it looks like a goblin. It's green skin, long nose, the scruffy, tufty hair, the little loincloth, the pointy spear, the whole traditional D&D goblin, except that they're 9 feet tall and there's lightning sparking off the top of their hair. There's lightning sparking off the copter too. You're not sure if it's broken or whether this is a weapon.
Storm Goblin.
It is the storm goblin.
I'd say, use her rifle
Yep.
to point at
And
goblin.
you pull out your rifle. John, how do you react?
The smaller version of the disco ball.
Okay.
Straight at the goblin.
And then you guys both get ready to go, and he looks down and he goes, ah shit. Fight, 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 fight. And he reaches forward and reaches for a button on the dash. You guys go first because you're the heroes. Ashley, let's have you pull the trigger first because I think shooting
Definitely.
a rifle is faster than casting magic. So,
Definitely.
what are you shooting at? The goblin, the copter?
Goblin,
Okay.
but I'm not sure because he could have shield.
You,
But I think
yeah.
better goblin because machine is too hard.
Absolutely. So you can hardly hear the shot. It's so loud in here. I mean, you're in the eye of the storm, but there is a tornado tearing up this whole area, and it's moving. So you're having to move to stay in the center of it and fire the shot. And it is brilliant. It goes right between the arms of the octocopter and kind of hits them just above the leg, runs right up their thigh and kind of out just beside their knee, doing damage. Shit. John? Pardon the
Disco
swearing. He's going to stop
hammer.
in a second. Yeah, right. Yes, the disco hammer. So
Right at the goblin.
what is it just like this one comes from you, or does this come out of the sky as well?
Oh, it would materialize in my hand and
Okay.
like had a big rage.
So, and it's just sparkling. As it's flying across the space, dimly in the distance, you can hear the dance music of whatever bar you just stole it from. And it's and there's that kind of rainbow shatter when it hits and just goes into 10,000 tiny pieces of mirrored glass that just puncture this goblin. So now it's just speckled in little red dots as it's bleeding. 2 more points of damage. But it's still just looking down at you and says, "If you're done, I guess it's my turn." And he hits the button hard. 1 bolt fires out at each of you. Oh. Ashley, you are hit directly. They rolled a 19. The lightning bolt comes right down. It hits the tip of your rifle, comes down the rifle and into your trigger finger, right up your arm, and it feels like it goes right to your heart. 2 points of damage only, because that's all anything does in this game, but I like to be descriptive. So it's like, John, remember how I said there was a challenger because like you guys can't see the rolls?
Yep.
When you watch the replay, it's a 20.
Oh.
So, we heard the music before.
Yep.
John is now dancing involuntarily to that music because you're just being electrocuted. So it's like, by the time it shorts out and grounds out through you into the ground, you take 4 points of damage.
Ooh, okay, I love it.
And then it stops, and I imagine you just go and just like jello to the ground, right? Boneless, boneless John dance it.
Yeah, yelling from the ground, "That's all you got!"
Spitting out a bit of blood, one eye crooked. Yeah, that's all you got. Ow, ow, ow. That's all you got. Second round. That's 1 go. Let's just do the same order.
Hermes and Dizzy.
Hermes and Dizzy can't do anything. They're way down here, and he's way up there.
Oh, okay.
So
Ashley,
yeah.
Ashley, take a slip of water and she should try again.
Okay.
But she now thinking about shoot machine, but also she think this will nothing to machine. So she again goblin.
So you stay focused on the goblin. Absolutely. So
But I trying to shoot closer his head than legs.
Okay. So, as you, in my, again, when you had the sip of water in my head, there was a little bit of electricity left in you, and it kind of went between your canteen and your lip a little bit. But then when you held the rifle up and took the shot, you stood still a second too long. The shot hit, and they take 2 more points of damage. They're finally starting to look worried. But at that moment, the wall of the tornado hits your shoulder. Then you have a difficult choice to make. You take 2 points of damage or lose your rifle to the tornado.
Damage because the rifle's more important.
Absolutely. So you take the pelt, but you use your body to shield the family rifle and pull yourself back into the eye of the storm. It did still hit. John, it's beat up. You're closing
I
down.
got a
Yep.
fun idea.
Okay.
I got no problem if you want to say no. So I still have 6 points of magic.
Okay.
And I would like to take the spell Inspire that costs 1 point of magic to make the NPC lift to his ideals, put all the 6 points of magic and take out a platinum coin and throw it down the chute and compel him with magic to he's so greedy that he wants this old coin.
I love the idea, but I'm sorry that the logic doesn't work because he can just get it after he kills you.
Yep.
So
Okay.
one
no
of the
problem.
very, very, very rare times it's just a straight no.
problem.
There's not even a no but.
That's why I professed that
yeah.
I got no problem with say no.
Okay.
So he would
Thank you. I
just
appreciate that.
do thunder wave. At
Okay,
the
I tried to be nice.
goblin.
Fine. boom.
You like thunder as much? Okay, here's some thunder
Oh,
from me to you.
thunder. Wow. Oh, love it. Oh, I like this. It's another difficult choice.
Oh, great.
So you fire the thunderous blast up the middle of the tornado, and it kind of starts to spin like a rifled gun barrel. So it hits them, but it kind of some of it bounces off of the quadcopter, the octocopter's blades, and you can see it reflecting back down towards the four of you, the two TRXs and
Yep.
yourself and Ashley. Your difficult choice is let everybody take 1 point of damage, or you take 2.
I want to take 2.
I
Definitely,
figured the
it's my
martyr.
magic.
I figured the
And
martyr would
f-
kick in. So yeah,
and,
2 more
and
points of
for,
damage.
force of will,
Mhm.
take the magic back, so
Okay.
it doesn't hurt my
So
colleagues.
you are currently at 6 points of damage, and it's the
No,
you took 4
because
before
6
and then
was
2 now, right?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, you've got 4 left. What I meant is you have taken 6
Yep.
points. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. He reaches forward and leans on the lightning button again. John, a 6. That's a tough choice. We're going to come back to that in a second. Ashley, a 3, a complete miss. So the lightning bolt hits beside you. Dizzy sort of steps aside, like, and it just shorts out on the ground. The other one is, it comes down and it does hit you, John. You take 2 points of damage. And then you can see them deciding they either have to let go, they're going to fall off the octocopter, or they're going to grab the only thing that they can to keep themselves on and break the effectiveness of their weapon. And they decide to do that. And crunch, and you see some of the machinery break that they were using with the lightning thing. They're going to have to roll to see if it works every turn now. But they managed to stay on top of the copter. Ashley, they're kind of hanging off the side. You can see now they're hurt bad. There's not a whole lot left. 1 or 2 more shots. This thing's going to be done.
Shoot.
And yeah, without even thinking, just pow. 17. Yeah, a clean shot. With that level, where did you hit him? I mean, you haven't killed them, but where did you hit him? So, oh, perfect. So it's like, and you see the jaw and part of the ear, and a lot of that goes missing, and they come back down. They're holding on from just instinct now. There's the only thing that's hanging there. They're all but dead. John, you have the opportunity. I'm going to give you, this isn't a bad choice. This is just a choice. You could finish this right now. 1 more hit and they're done. Or you could let Ashley finish it. You've been writing the sort of the ode to Ashley. I want to know how that balances with the egomaniac, the megalomaniac. Who are you willing to take the credit, or are you willing to give it up?
No, because I'm an egomaniac and I want the vengeance, but I'm also my good side is I like to be generous,
Yep.
and I like almost dying, spitting out blood. My lady, do you want the finishing touch?
Ashley,
If you say so.
Ashley, you look over at him as he said this. He's got the same. He's as close to death as the Storm Goblin is. They're both at 2 hit points left.
I say, as you wish.
And just,
It's
and you squeeze off that last round. Another 17. Yeah. This one, the last one took off the jaw. This one goes right up the middle. This one just turns out the lights. It's just blink. And as they fall, content warning, they fall into one of the blades. And you get just showered with goblin muck. The copter starts to go. It's out of control. It's starting to get touched by the edges of the tornado, and every time it does, it comes a little bit lower. It comes a little bit lower. What do you do?
I try to stabilize it so it wouldn't crash. Just
how are you going to do that? It's coming down from 30 meters up, sort of like 10 meters a turn.
Trying to. Because soul gaze and this type of maybe use the last one of the hammer to like cushion the blow.
Okay, yeah, we'll give you a shot to do that. Ashley, what's your plan? This thing's coming down at you, 8 spinning blades and all.
I would try to run away and put, and put my body on ground
Okay,
like
perfect. Yep.
on war
So you, yeah,
soldiers.
you move as far as you can, throw yourself to the ground. Dizzy throws himself on top of you to protect you, and you wait for it and wait for it. John, you fire off the you fire off the hammer. Um, yeah, it's a 5. That's a failure. You fire the
Yeah, no
hammer up,
problem.
it hits the blades, the blade shatters, and that bit starts to fall directly towards you. I want you to take 1 more point of damage.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Let's play this. Let's play this like it's
Okay.
written. 2 points of damage. You are knocked into unconsciousness.
Okay.
But
I'm
but
good with that.
the payoff is part of it falls on you and injures you, but the rest of it gets into the wall of the tornado. And as it's ripped to shreds, as the electronics on the tower are ripped to shreds, the tornado stops and just falls to the ground, all the stuff that was in it. So there's the 2 of you and the 2 TRXs. You're completely unconscious, so you have no idea. Hermes has gone to ground over you. They're both protecting their humans underneath as dust and mud and a cow, because there's always a cow in a tornado, comes crashing to the ground
And a house.
all around you. Exactly, the bits of a house and stuff that's been up there for years.
Yeah.
It just crashing around you in this circle because you're in the eye. And when it's done, you're surrounded by like a ridge of stuff. But above that, that cloud just breaks up and the sunlight comes through, or the moonlight comes through
Mm.
and clears the
I'm
air.
very happy with that.
Ashley, Dizzy gets up off of you. You look over and you see Hermes. He stands up and he starts going bark, 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 and pulling John by the leg towards Dizzy. John is not
I
moving.
try put John on Hermes to secure him
Mhm.
and say to Hermes that he should take John to other people to heal him.
And yeah, so he he listens to you and he grabs him by the ankle again and drags him across the desert over to the merchant marine.
Making
just
it
'cause
worse.
it's not getting anywhere. It's just funny.
And
Um,
Ashley, before return, she look at the stuff that fell apart and looking for something that could be souvenirs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, loot.
Okay. I'm going to get to yours. I like the word souvenir and it inspired me, but let me get back to that in a second because Hermes.
John wanted to give Ashley a friendship bracelet, but that will be for later.
Right now, it's going to be made out of
I
your guts.
take him back at the
John, you are completely unaware of this, but Hermes drags you across the desert over to the merchant marines. One of them pours out of their strand beast with the universal sign, right? The big red cross on the big white suitcase, slams down beside you, pops it open, puts a couple things on your chest, starts your heart again, sticks something down your throat, hits a button, you start to breathe again. It's not pretty, it's brutal. It's like getting punched back to life, but yeah. So you do that big, and the thought hits you, John. You were just dead. For real, for real. John.
He doesn't accept it.
Gone. Yeah. For now, it's just like, nope.
Cannot.
I just passed out. That's the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he cannot process that he was dead. He's just, I see your reality, I reject the reality for my own reality.
I can see you sort of pulling off the sensors and just taking the stuff out. Never happened, right? Perfect. So you recover.
But he would thank the medical person.
You recover 2 hit points.
Okay. And I love it.
They look at you and just
great.
And you can see they were just pouring sweat. This is a first aid person, right? This was not a surgeon, right? This is just a first aid guy traveling with the convoy, and he just saved you. So you could tell, as much as you're lying to yourself, his face tells you that you're lying, right? So on some deep level, at some point, it's going to come through. Ashley, you're digging through the rubble. You find it's a connection of things because they're connected by wires. It's a little control panel that's got about 8 buttons on it, and you can tell if you spent some time with this, you could program it. But it connects to all 8 of what are now, you've got the electric motors left, but the blades are shot, right? So what it's basically the wiring harness that would allow you give you all the electronics you would need for an octocopter. If that makes sense. Like the
Yeah.
it's basically like the remote control with all the wiring that is internal
Yeah.
to the system. Yeah, and we're not going to have that take up any real space. So yeah,
And
that
I also take smart figurine that was in Hurricane because this is also pretty.
yes, absolutely, yeah. You can
And
gather
John
all,
is sitting and writing.
and yeah, John starts
It's
writing
near that
again.
experience.
So, with that,
Okay, can I just have a
Oh,
one
yes.
short moment with Ashley?
Yep.
When Ashley would, I think she would come to check on John, he would take out a small bracelet that he made with pieces of onyx and some glass bubbles. Thank you for fighting with me and for saving my life. You are a true friend. And there is Ashley etched in the stones.
Nice.
Ashley take and say, no problem, you're welcome.
Thank you, that is all.
And she put a bracelet on her hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you tie that on.
I love it. Because I randomly decided that John is a jeweler.
It works for me.
Yeah.
So that storm has
This
stopped.
bracelet is still going to look like mad by child
Mhm.
because there are some bracelets like a child can do.
Yep.
Yep. Definitely that's the style.
And so with that, you settle into what you hope is the rest. This was very early on. This is you guys have still got a fair amount of night to go. If I did I or was this near dawn? I don't or near.
No,
It was yeah. You got hours left. Never mind. We got
Very
plenty of time.
nice bit of night.
We got plenty of time for the next encounter. But you guys get
Yeah,
yourselves sort of back together and get the convoy lined up again and start moving.
and John is wants to sit on Hermes.
Yep.
He will sit. He
Fair, because
doesn't take no for an answer.
you're
It's my
still-
job. I may be a little bang up.
Yeah.
In the back of his mind, I'm half dead. I almost died. I died. But no, I'm
I
a
like
hero.
your I like your
yeah.
version. It's like your version of Sid in the Necrobiotic game. It's just like every time you move, it's just ow, ow,
Yeah,
ow,
it's
ow,
that.
ow. Everything's broken. Every rib. You know. You got
Yeah.
wounds. You don't wounds in places you don't have names for.
Yep.
But you struggle on.
Ashley, before going to sleep, she will letter write again.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah, actually, let's do a night's rest. I just looked ahead here. Let's have the rest of this night pass unhindered because I want to give you guys a chance to heal.
Yeah.
So yes, the
loved it.
rest of the night passes. Ashley, you write a letter to your parents again.
Yeah,
So are you and let's we'll get to the letter when you get there. But how are you sending it this time?
and so can write and put to Daisy, not telepathic, but just put.
Okay, so you write a
And
note.
write like journal again.
Okay, and then
But
just send.
also to mention about breakfast at the end.
Okay. About the bracelet. Yeah, I love that. That's really nice. And you send Dizzy like you did before, just as a courier.
Yeah,
Okay. So, what does the letter say?
what happened
This
that day
right, of course. Yeah,
with Goblin.
yeah. And then the bit about the bracelet. Okay. A couple seconds later, he comes back with the reply, as always, written on the back of the paper that you sent it on. from your, in this case, this time it's actually from your mother. It's there's some bits at the start about, oh, make sure you're being careful, all good parent stuff, right? Be safe and don't do anything unnecessary. We don't want the money if you're not coming back, all that mom stuff. But then at the bottom it says, I hope it's as beautiful as you described it. And then there's a little heart.
I hug a letter and Dizzy, and I go sleep by putting letter to pocket.
Okay. Yeah. As you settle down to go to sleep, Dizzy comes over and kind of pokes you with their nose.
And I say, what is it, Dizzy?
And they start digging a little bag that they've got with them. And they pull out this little glass cube. It's about maybe 2 or 3 centimeters on a side. And they hold it up to their eye and look through it. And then hand it to you.
I check in this, but also,
Yeah, and you hold it
I
up to
say
you.
thank you.
Yeah. You look through it.
Yeah,
And you see, at first it's almost, at first it just looks like a forest scene. And then you see a whole bunch of dizzies, big dizzies and little dizzies, and some really little dizzies, and what is probably Mrs. Dizzy. And there's a whole family of these raptors caught in like the middle of a raptor picnic.
and I say, this is your country and home and family, Dizzy.
And there's just a
And
very quiet nod.
I say, why are you giving me this? This is important for you.
And they take it back there. It is very important. They take it back and wrap it up and put it away. And you get the psychic thought, same as you. I have to buy the land or they'll take it from us.
I hug Dizzy and I pull away from my pocket holographic photo family and say, this is my family.
And you show him, and he's in your head. You hear, your brother's much bigger now. He's growing very fast. Because
Yeah,
he just saw him. I just saw him a minute ago, right?
because we are shorter alive than your species.
And you just, there's a flood. Like, it's the it's all mental, but it's like the two people sitting down and pulling out their phones and showing each other's pictures, right? It's that
Yeah,
moment that, yeah. So in the dark, as the sun's rising in the distance, your little shelter that you've built, you're inside it. Dizzy's head is just inside it. His butt's kind of still outside, sticking up in the night. And the two of you talk about your families telepathically.
yeah.
And that's how the two of you fall asleep. Kind of him with his head in your tent and asleep on the ground.
One question.
I actually was just about to cut to John. Yeah.
Could John find Hermes and say, I know you have to go on hunting, but could you spend some time with me until I fall asleep? Because after today, I'm kind of scared. No, not scared. Lonely, and and he cannot bring himself to say that he is weak, but it's obvious that he's just fucking scared because
He
he almost died.
Hermes listens and kind of, I mean, it's a blank face, right? There's not a lot of emotional projection coming off of a chicken, especially a chicken with no feathers. But at the
John
end of
just
it,
needs a friend.
there's a gentle nod, and then he headbutts you in the middle of the chest. Boof! And it actually knocks you over onto your bed. And he comes over and starts on your legs with his little tiny arms, pulling out shattered pieces of glass and carbon fiber. And as he's doing it, you
Yeah.
can see that he's full of shrapnel too. He took damage from
Oh,
this as well.
gods.
And he's just
So,
like a monkey
so
picking nits.
John would try to do the same for him.
And the two of you, wow.
Take out the.
Talk about two magnificent scenes. In one tent, they're talking about family, and in the other tent, John just learned a lesson on empathy.
Yes.
So, yeah, John and Hermes picking splinters out of each other and going, oh, ah, oh, as they do it.
Yeah.
And next door, Ashley and Dizzy sleeping the joyous sleep of people that know they have loving families to go back to and missions to be on. You wake up the next morning and all your hit points are returned magically, kapoof, along with 5 of your action points.
One team thinks about family, the other team becomes sort of a family.
Absolutely. And the next day, I keep saying day because that's how you do it, but the next night when the sun sets and you're ready to set out again, you do. Changed, maybe. Motivated. Maybe feeling a little mortal.
Yeah.
Maybe, John, for the first time, realizing that this is really, really real and you could die
No,
for real out
he
here. Still not
would
yet?
be
No?
delusional,
Okay.
but he would feel closer to Hermes.
Okay.
Like a fire for friendship, and he would also try to fix his code a little with magic, but there are some not noticeable stitches, some
Yep.
problems with it. It's not as pristine as it once was.
Well, you guys get moving that night. And about the middle of the night, you see on the far side of a desolate plain, it's at least 10 or 12 kilometers away, a series of 6 low hummocks, little hills, but they're moving slowly in a line parallel to yours, but going in the opposite direction. Their passage is lit by the glow of the bioluminescent grass that they so slowly disturb. I don't know if you've ever seen there's a couple of places in the ocean that if you swim there, you leave a bioluminescent trail behind you. This is like that. So these monstrous things. It's a little flash of lightning in the distance that finally reveals them for what they actually are. Dodecapodius, a genetic rebuild of a dinosaur that never was. 100 meters long and 20 tall at the shoulders. 12 thick legs in 3 sets of 4 support the central bulk. A short, thick tail drops to the ground and a black trailing a 10-meter-long spread of feathers that drags behind. A short, near-vertical neck and a relatively tiny head make it the very image of a child's drawing of a dinosaur. Except that each of these behemoths has a village on its back. The buildings, mostly 3 stories tall, are connected with walkways and rope bridges.
I don't want somehow get people on these creatures since these villages.
Yep. You turn in that direction. Is that your plan, to go down and
Yeah,
see them? Okay.
and yeah,
Would I use magic to check if those creatures are happy?
You absolutely
Or-
can. Go ahead and cast your soul search spell.
Because the first thing that I thought about, check if they are happy with their Latin knife or are they being used.
They are very happy, and their happiness is connected to their motion. They never stop.
So John is starting to coo. It's so pretty.
Through his cracked and broken lips.
Oh, yeah.
You keep.
actually we want talk to people on
Okay.
these creatures
Yep.
and yell or something like that.
As you get a little closer to the point where you could yell and make yourself heard, you sort of, hey, up at them, and a person leans off the side closest to you and looks down and says, hi, we're full at the moment, but you're welcome to ride alongside. You can come up to visit, you just can't stay.
I say, okay, and I also say, do you have also any stuff for tourists, a handmade, or anything?
For tourists?
I mean, anything like souvenirs.
Oh, souvenir. We got. And he kind of grins and says, I know. And he disappears for a second and he comes back and he says, How about this? And he holds over the side a stuffed toy dodecapodicus.
This is perfect. Thank you. How much money you need?
Oh, no. We got thousands of these things. We tried to market them years ago, but we can never stay still long enough to sell any of them. So come on up. Come on up. And a rope ladder
try
kind of drops
go.
down the side.
What
try
does
go.
he call John?
Sorry? Go, John?
Yeah.
Because John totally wants a plushie as well.
Okay, absolutely. So they drop a rope ladder down the side. The two of you can climb up. Obviously, the TRXs can't, but they're going to just continue to plod alongside.
And John would ask, do you have maybe a tailor? Because I almost died and my pretty clothes get kind of ruined.
Oh, yeah, we got everything. And if we don't, then 4 behind us does. And if they don't, then 2 ahead of us. They're numbered.
I
You're on
ask
3. Yeah.
also where is inn or something like that, or
Yes.
bar.
Right in the top in the middle. And you look up and
Actually,
like
go to bar.
just yeah, perfect. Yeah. John?
John would go to a tailor to
'Kay.
fix up his
There's a
clothes.
yeah, this is like a whole town here, but like I said, it's 3 stories tall, but everything's sort of really thin and kind of very narrow alleys. There's no pack animals or anything up here. I don't know if you've read Terry Pratchett, but it's like Ankh-Morpork, but instead of a giant turtle, it's on the back of a much smaller dinosaur. But that's it. Like there's a whole town up here, so anything you need, you can find.
Yes, so John would then go eat something, some curry or something like that. But he would be huggy. He turned into a little child for a while because he got so scared of almost dying. Like he's hugging the little plushie.
Yeah.
He's fixing his clothes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Adding
Yeah.
some more shiny rhinestones.
Perfect. And Ashley?
Ashley hide her plushie to back or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
And when she is in bar, she asks, "Do you sell alcohol in bottles? The cheapest what you have?"
We got anything you want. Beer, wine, whiskey. What do you
I
need?
want something the most cheap like you have, and few bottles, not one but few.
Dinosaur moonshine?
Don't worry about the cost. We make so much of it here. We make more of everything than we could possibly use.
No, I don't want drink. I need to something. Dessert.
Yeah. In that case, and they take a couple steps away, leave the bar, and go into a little room behind, and come back out with a square, like a brown glass bottle with a big stopper in it. That is as close to 100% alcohol as we can make. Do not drink that.
Thank you. I want a few of them, like 4 or something.
Yep.
And I bought all to head back.
Okay. So 4 liters, and you're going to take them to the park, did you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
or back.
Yeah. I want to see what happens next.
I have this for letters.
Okay, you're gonna keep it for oh, it's killing me. What would I do with 4 liters of 100% alcohol? And there's a list of litany of things going on in my head. But with that, the convoy is sort of pulled in beside. Mm-hmm.
I also ask barman, do you have any jobs or missions or troubles?
We do actually. Now that you mentioned it, he kind of looks over your shoulder and says, "Sheriff, come here." And a heavier set older man comes over and says, "Yes." And they're visitors. They're not from here. They want to know if you've got a job for them. And the sheriff looks at you and he gives you the appraising look, scans you up and down, and I mean, you guys are both pretty beat up from yesterday, right? So I do have we have a challenge on our route ahead of us that we have to face every year when we pass by here. If you could help us out with that, I'm not sure what we've got that
Lay
you
it on
want.
me.
Money, gold, platinum. Is that all right?
No, we. Okay, I don't want to speak for Ashley, but for my friend, but okay, never mind. Ashley, you do.
What would be okay?
Okay. It sounds so silly when I say it out loud. We've got a feral cat problem. And I know you're looking at me like feral cats. They're 6 feet tall and they travel in packs.
And I say make face, eh? Like she's confused.
Yeah.
What?
They're bipedal, like us. They look like cats, claws, teeth, and they raid us every single year.
Oh.
They climb up the side of the dodecasauruses and steal a bunch of shit every year.
John
When
would,
When they arrive,
We're
when they arrive.
they could be here anytime.
Mm.
I ask because we have schedule busy. So
John would
Above the table again. You guys got time. Back into the game.
John would come close to Ashley and whisper, "We would have had to deal with those cat people anyway because they are on our patch."
Yep.
But I almost said that to them, but I didn't want to take money from our farm town. So we can make some.
I say, okay,
Okay, we will do it.
So you guys, what's the plan?
wait
That
for
is
this
the
cat
question.
and attack.
Absolutely. He says, we've got lookouts posted. So when you hear 3 blasts on the horn, that means that they're there. And then do your thing. I will give you, and he kind of stops to think about it, the weight of their leader in silver,
I'd say
Platinum.
gold.
gold.
Okay.
Weight of their leader in gold. And he sounds
And
like he's agreeing, but he's also realizing what he's just said.
yes, that sounds very
And
fair.
actually, it up her hands.
It's like
This will
120
be
kilos
easy.
of gold.
Yeah.
All right. So, with that, you guys are all healed up. For the purposes of this, take all of your action points back too. Go back up to 10 on those, because this is an encounter, right? So this is the deal.
And John is freshly bedazzled. He's like an old lady in the rhinestone
In rhinestones.
tracksuits.
Oh my god, he just keeps getting more and more and more,
More and more gaudy.
fantastic on the outside.
He
all
gets
right.
so scared that he wants to shine, you know. That's how he's coping shopaholics.
So, a few hours later, well before dawn, you hear meep, 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 the inevitable 3 blasts on the horn. You look out of your
The
windows
White
in the
Walkers
inn,
are coming.
and you can see coming over the horizon large, silver discs. They're about 3 or 4 meters across and about half a meter high, and each one of them riding them is these cat people. What is the plan?
I shoot
You're just going
with
to start
my
shooting from up here? Okay.
because
You've got
because
extreme range.
sniper.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to give you range that, John, you don't have. What do you... You've got range, but
Yes.
not like Ashley. they've got an ability. So
I would wait for some of them to start climbing
Mhm.
and then thunder wave them off the
Okay, I got you. So as they get
creatures.
closer. All right. So Ashley, what you see when you sight down the scope and start trying to pick one, because you're going to get at least one or two shots off before they're close enough for John to start doing his thing.
So I shot cat,
Yep.
not egg, not animal, but cat.
You're going to shoot the cats or the things that they're riding on.
Not
Cat.
the machines,
Okay.
but the
Okay,
cats.
gotcha. Okay, I don't know if they're giant Roombas. Basically, they're cats riding giant Roombas. But there are you
I
see
love you.
6 of them all together coming towards you. I'm gonna real quick description because cats are quick.
Yeah.
There's a tabby, a Himalayan, a tortoiseshell, a Siamese twin, which looks exactly like the Siamese, and a big floofy gray and white Maine Coon. That one you can tell is the leader because they got an eye patch. They're racing towards you.
I try shoot a leader first.
The leader. So you
Because
line. Yep.
this will be more logical.
Absolutely. So you line up and pull the trigger, and another 20. Wow. Yeah. Why not? Why the heck not? Ashley, that rifle of yours, that family heirloom rifle of yours is amazing. It's just pop. You squeeze the round off, and it just like I don't know if anybody's ever played baseball. When you swing and you hit that perfect, like you don't even feel it, you just know it's gone. And you let that shot go, and it's going to take some time to get there because bullets are not infinitely quick. It takes, a second or so to get there. But the second you squeeze the trigger, it's perfect. Right in the other eye. He's got the eye patch on this side. It's just right in the other one. He falls back off of his Roomba. It starts to randomly sweep the desert in all the kinds of different directions. And you were absolutely right. It's a 20. So it happens exactly as you foresaw. The other ones are like, he's gone. I'm out. And they just part company and start heading off into the distance. Wow.
So John is just sitting. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, 20s are amazing. I mean, to read they do double damage and
get
add
no
a bonus
problems
to
with
success.
this.
So yeah.
I
love it.
adore today game with the dying and the 20s, and Ashley is just a badass. He
So
just pull out his book, starts writing.
I scroll more and more pages down.
Yeah.
And we got some time to kill. Do you want to go out and look at the corpse?
We need to get the
No,
body back.
Actually, we
Okay.
not
No.
go.
Okay,
We
John.
got to get
Actually,
the money.
we go eat something or
Gotcha.
drink something.
John would go down, go to get the body and get the body back because that's how Ashley gets the money.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
would
do.
go
And
to
he would
say
make sure
and say,
that it would be wave.
and also we go to sheriff and say, no, where is reward?
Yeah.
I
So
got an idea.
I want to do.
Could
Okay. Yeah.
when he is taking the body, could he like sew some stones in it or
I got
something?
a thing
Maybe?
for you with that body in just a second. I want to do this Ashley one first because I have a great
Okay.
idea for all this gold. 120 kilos of gold, 60 kilos of gold, Ashley. And they're just dumping like wheelbarrows full of it of gold coins in a box in front of you. To make this, well, here's my idea. One thing you could do is use Dizzy repeatedly to take loads of gold directly back to your family. Does that sound like
Yes,
something you
that was
do?
my idea
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. So, and this time, because you have another ability, did you want to do a ride along and see your family's face when Dizzy starts unloading? Okay. So, yep. Why not? Dizzy's huge. I want to do this in one trip. So Dizzy's a monster, right? He is he is capable of carrying us all at once. So they get it in this big box, and he's kind of pushing it, and you climb on him, and it's weird because it kind of like turning inside out when you do this time travel because you go into his head, right? So the two of you in his head pop out on your farm. He pushes the giant box up to the house and then uses one of his tiny little hands to knock on the door. Tunk, tunk, tunk. And your parents open the door and you hear your father swear for the first time in your life when he looks down at all the gold. And your mother just goes, "Oh, Ashley, what have you done?" She doesn't know you're there. She's just, talking as if you were. But you're there. You can't respond back, but you can see that.
I added to the box letter
Yeah.
that this is for you, family.
And your dad's trying to pull it into the house, but he's not strong enough to. So he's like taking handfuls of gold coins out and walking into the
killed a
house
big cat.
and leaving like a
He's
trail
so
behind him of gold coins. They are, as ecstatic as you can imagine, right? They'd already got a lot of money from you from before this started. Now all of a sudden there's 60 kilos of gold. They're going to be the richest farmers in the neighborhood, and you're not even half done your adventure yet, right? So at that moment of joy and happiness, do you leave them there and pop back, or what's the plan?
It's not a plan. I don't have any plan.
Okay.
I just go back to my adventure.
Okay. John, you were going to loot the
Yeah.
thing, right? Yeah. And
No, I want to sow some rocks
Yep.
so that the cat would be even more kilos. So
Yeah.
Ashley's family would get even more gold. Because they are saying all the time, we got too many things. We got
yeah.
so many
Oh, yes,
things.
they do. Yep, absolutely they do.
So they said that,
Yep.
and John
love it.
wants the whole family, the farm to thrive because he wants to live there as well.
I love it. Take an extra 5 kilos of gold. So now they've got 65 kilos just for that plan.
Yeah.
You sewed 5 kilos of rocks into it. But speaking of rocks and speaking of sparkles, around its neck, underneath that long white and gray fur, you find a pendant, a leather strap with a stone on the end of it. It's a dark purpley black stone. It almost looks like it's got a liquid core that's swirling inside it.
Since I'm a magician,
Mm-hmm.
I know that soul gaze is for a person, but I'm a little worried that it may be cursed. Could I try to look at its aura?
Absolutely. Let's just give you a roll. 8. Tough choice.
Mhm.
Perfect. Let's do it this way. As you sort of start to scan it with your magic to see what it is,
Mhm.
there's a backlash. You taste purple. Like
Yummy.
the kinesthesia is strong, right? Everything, it's like being turned out inside out in a split second, and suddenly you're the stone looking out at you, and then you're you looking back out at the stone, looking down at the stone again. This stone has the ability for the person wearing it to slow down time.
I like you. I pet the stone and put it on my neck. I know that it will be something evil, but
You have this
it's
moment
too much power.
because I want to explain because you guys didn't do the fights,
Yeah.
and I'm a GM, so I want to brag. That stone, what would have happened if you guys had engaged them is they turn on the stones, and one of you would have been inside the time bubble fighting somebody, and one of you would have been outside the time bubble fighting 3. So you'd have been 3 and 3, traveling at different speeds in time and having to fight separately. But you guys, just like every other encounter so far, you guys have brilliantly gone around. No, I mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. This is how you solve problems. You don't fight them, you solve them, right? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you now have 1 Tempest Stone.
Okay, I will add it to the character sheet after the. Or is it somewhere on the?
It's no,
later?
I just made it up. So just type
Okay.
something into your character sheet.
Okay.
And with that, the it's only 4:30. So you guys, I'm presuming, spend the rest of the day with these people, have a night's rest, and then take off the next
Yeah.
evening.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So everything back to tens again, and let's head on to the next adventure. The next night, you head off again.
And John has like 10 of those plushies. Just saying, you know.
But just they're sticking out everywhere,
Yes, he's like a teen girl.
hanging off of Hermes'
yes.
saddle, and yeah, they're yeah.
Yes.
And actually, we look at Johnny and said to herself in mind that what a child.
He's totally a child.
He is. He still hasn't grown up. He started, but he's still growing up.
Because his family was all business, not
Yeah.
no love. So now when he's growing up and on his own, he's just taking back all of the childhood joy that he didn't have.
Absolutely. Well, we've got another splash scene because you guys come around another twist in the road, another view. But this one is different. It's the remains of a crashed container ship surrounded by damaged containers, wrapped in a thin strip of tents that are themselves festooned with faded strips of what was once bright cloth. It's a gray mass, wrapped in brown, wrapped in the palest, flappiest pastels. There's tiny wisps of smoke and hisses of steam and the smell of people emitting from it. The 10-meter tall, roughly circular perimeter of the compound is made up of these most wrecked, rotten, and twisted travel containers, the ones that are no use to live in anymore. They've been cut, poked, and ripped to make them even more jagged as a defense. The only visible entrance is a narrow tunnel that is currently blocked by the blade of a massive bulldozer, and you can see the bulldozer itself behind it. Once you're close enough, you can also see there's a medieval metal bracket, originally used to hold a cauldron over a fire, that now holds a half-melted car battery and an AM/FM radio.
I would suggest go around this thing because
Yeah,
we don't know
Bo-
what happened here. And
Bossman, do
this-
you want to stop and haggle or get some supplies, or should we go around?
yeah, but this substantion could be dangerous. That smoke
Yes.
and everything.
Bob leans out and says, "You guys have never been to the Dirty Bastards outpost, have you?"
Yeah.
No.
You're about to see something special if you go in.
But this is safe. We don't be poisoned or something.
Since
Nope.
Bob is talking to us and he was there, so
Yep. They might
we will
overcharge you for
get
beer,
alive.
but yeah, that's the worst that's going to happen there. The Dirty Bastards just all about making money. So as long as
Okay, I'm going.
as you get a little bit closer, the radio crackles into life, and you hear, "Welcome to the Dirty Bastards outpost. This is he speaking. Why in the 40 hell should I let y'all in here?"
we want to spend some money.
And we have a lot money.
And you hear an answer, instead of a voice, you just hear the tractor, and it starts to back up. And the blade of the thing opens up into a courtyard big enough to bring the whole convoy in. You all
I'm
come-
very secure walk toward because I'm scared they close door behind me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, they let you all in before and they leave the door open behind you so you could leave if you choose. But once
Yeah.
you're in this courtyard, it's again made out of all these shipping containers. It's already different from what's on the outside. But in here, there's a door cut into one of the containers. And on either side of it, there's two guards wearing red and black uniforms. And one of them reaches over and opens the door and pulls it open and says, "It is customary that only the escorts enter." And you hear behind you,
Okay.
"And the boss." And Bob steps out. "I'm coming too." "Oh, hey, Bob, how you doing?" Yeah. Come on in, guys. Come on in.
I go,
Okay.
Yeah, and
but very slowly.
I try to ask someone on this slide. You see that that's my friend. She's an amazing ranger. My lady friend, not romantic, platonic friendship. I want to buy some nice souvenir for her. She likes little trinkets and souvenirs, and I want to get a present for her because she saved my life.
I can guarantee
And I
you there
say,
are people here that will
oh,
take all your money.
and I say, oh, thank you, John.
No. He wants to do it in secret.
On the
He
sneak?
wants
Okay.
it a
Okay.
surprise. Yes.
All right.
So
yeah,
down low.
the guy says to you, yeah, wait till you're inside. Wait till you're inside. And you keep hearing this, like, wait till you're inside. Wait till you're
Yep.
inside. Well, you step through the door and you're inside. And you see the outpost in all its surreal glory. What you saw from the outside is not what's really there. You find yourself inside what is technically a C540 Buckminster Fullerene dome, composed of 130 hexagonal panels and 6 pentagonal ones. It's a big dome. For some reason, they all glow in a scintillating blue color that flickers. In a second or two, you can deduce quite a few things. The blue is reflected light from a projector. There's a giant tower in
John
the middle,
fucking loves that.
in the middle of the space, shining on the inside of this roof. The outside of the dome must be a projected image. The tents and the flags were real, but probably empty props. The rest of the crashed ship and the associated detritus is all an illusion projected by this projector. When your eyes come down from all that blue after all these days under this red moon and this red sun, they encounter a lot. There's a central tower, circular and 25 meters tall, made from a section of the hull of an actual container ship. It stands straight and true, showing no signs of damage. It sits in the center of a 3-tiered lawn made up of lichen and moss. Each tier is 5 meters tall and is gently sloped enough to allow you to walk up it. This brings the total height to 40 meters, only 10 meters short of the peak of the dome. Between it and you is an exquisitely constructed formal garden, all done in burnished aluminum and stainless steel. The flowers, the hedges, the grass, even the cobblestone trail is composed entirely of metal, all of it reflecting that eerie blue light. On the left side of the garden is a row of shops and vendors. On the right, more of the same, but more boisterous and smelling of ale. So shops, bars. Beyond all of that, nestled against the inner curve at the far end of the dome is a multi-layered mansion that rises against the dome in ever-descending layers like a big steel wedding cake. Corrugated shipping containers never looked so good. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people here. I just got one more paragraph left. Once the half dozen that are visible, there's only about a half dozen visible in the gardens or on the rise. From here, it's hard to tell, but it seems like there might be a dozen or more spread out amongst the shops and taverns. One of the gray and red guards approaches you. Seeing as how it's your first time here, the dirty bastard himself has requested a meeting. Drinks and a feast at the hall, if that works for you. The next meal will be served in 2 hours' time. The dirty bastard hopes to see you there. Simply present yourselves at the hall's entry. We'll be expecting you. And he bows.
Wonderful. Thank you for the invitation. My lord, I will be there. And I gave a full on courtesy.
The full on, yep, the full meal deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ashley?
I speechless and looking around everything.
Yes.
And I'm
absolutely.
thinking that after when they invited me, I go to bar, ask for jobs.
Absolutely. But before we get
Yes.
to the jobs, this place, it's cool in here. It's air conditioned. For the first time in days, you're not hot, you're not sticky, you're not sweating. There are baths and hotels and everything at your service, and it's all on the tab because the company has an account here. John? Yeah.
I go
John-
to
John-
hotel
Okay.
and to take a bath.
That's what I was getting to. That's the first thing I would do in this situation is I would go to the bath.
John has an idea what
Yeah.
he wants to buy
Yeah.
for Ashley.
Yeah.
He searches someone. He wants to buy her a knife
Okay.
from Damascus steel
Yeah.
with a handle, with a bone handle with skirmish, like the etchings.
Scrimshaw. Yeah.
Scrimshaw. Yes, that's the word.
Okay.
Etchings of no, not farm life, because she's a ranger. So scenes from, oh, maybe okay,
Oh,
maybe
how about
farm
leaf?
life.
How about leaf Damascus?
Okay.
It actually looks like leaf shapes layered over itself.
Oh, amazing! And I want to also add an engraving. Thank you for saving my rainbow hide. Though
Okay.
to
Perfect.
Ashley,
So
and that's the gift I want to.
the knife you find
Yeah.
is made of you get the story with it, because it's the best way to sell stuff is you sell the story. Um, the story is, whether it's true or not, the story is that this knife is made from the folded steel of one of the containers of the ship that actually originally crashed here, that started the whole Dirty Bastards
Yeah.
outpost in the first place. So this is like a holy relic, right? This is the sales pitch anyway. It's probably
Yeah.
not true, but this is the sales pitch.
But
It's a
he's a
beautiful
storyteller,
leaf
so
Damascus.
he
Yep.
appreciates it.
The bone on the handle is apparently from the beast that the Dirty Bastard himself fought to death with his bare hands shortly after the crash. And scrimshot into the handle is an image of this tiny person fighting this giant, what looks like a slug, with just his bare hands and on the handle. And then they do that etching, the thank you for saving my, what was it? Thank you for saving my
Thank you for saving my rainbow hide.
my rainbow hide down the spine of the blade. And it kind of blends in with the folding of the Damascus on
Yeah,
the back, so you
and
kind of have to hold it at a certain angle to see it.
definitely. And John would be like, I know you are bullshitting me, but that's a very amazing story. I will give you a bonus. So
And
I
it's
gave them a good tip.
and like I said, it's on the company tab, so that way I
Okay.
don't have to worry about money. So you find that knife.
Definitely. And I also wanted to, John would also want to get a bed, like scented
Oh, yeah.
rose oils
Yep.
and all the
Absolutely.
works.
So you've got 2 hours. So the two of you each end up in a room in the hotel. And the nice thing with the projection screen is, it turns out if you get high enough, which this hotel is, it's about, it's 3/4 the height of the tower. There's images projected on the inside too. Images of oceans and lakes and glacier fed waters. Anything cool and wet, which is exactly the opposite of what's outside this place, right? It's like, having a basement apartment with the painting of a beautiful outdoors on the wall and what looks like a window, so you think you're on the ground floor. It's that, but writ large.
Definitely.
So the two of you, I imagine, I'm just gonna put you here, just sort of
Get
lounging in the
generate.
tub. That the in my mind, it's kind of like you're so dirty, it's kind of like an ultrasonic vibration setting on the tub, and you can just sort of see
Yeah.
the dirt and grime coming up off of you, and the fierce sweat and the blood and the damage and all the stitches and everything else.
Definitely.
And it gives you a moment to think. So in that wonderful smelling, steamy, wet environment, let's start with Ashley. Your family's now richer than anybody else on the planet. I guess the question is, I almost don't want to ask it, because it might not have an answer, but why do you keep going?
Because I like to have job done. And when I'm in half of job, it's better now return. And also contracts I can break.
I love it. That sense of duty. Oh, Ashley, this character. Oh, I love it. It's like, because you've got like wealth, unimaginable levels of wealth now, and just like, no, I got to finish this job. I don't care. I got things to do. I love it. Thank you. So you're sitting in the tub in this incredible environment, just going, get healthy, concentrate. We're not done, right? Is that fair?
Yeah,
Yeah. John, all the stuff's off. All your sparkly clothes are over there getting cleaned. It's just John laying in the tub.
Yeah.
You died today, John. This little voice in your head just poke. Or yesterday. Yeah, this little voice in your
And
head's just poking you.
yes. And I speak to this voice. Do you know how good this material will be? We will spin gold out of this. The suffering, the pain, it will be amazing. Like he's scared, but he's hyping himself up.
You try,
Like
and
it
and
will be so amazing
the little
with
voice
the
says,
book.
"Not if you're dead, dumbass."
But they can publish it posthumously, and it will
You want
sell
to be
even
worshipped?
better.
You want to be worshipped posthumously, or you want to be worshipped? And you get that flash in your head of like inside Wembley Stadium with 80,000 people going, "John, John, John, John," because you're a megalomaniac. Don't you want to be there to
Both.
enjoy it?
I want to, but I am scared. I won't lie to myself. No, I will. I'm not scared because I'm amazing. But just think about what good this story will be. It will be amazing. Plus, I really like Hermes and I really like Ashley. And I could have like go home. But no. I'm it's stupid. My parents were all beige and sad, and my whole life was like only business. I know I'm dying. I know I'm risking my life, but I am having fun. My life was supposed to be boring, only columns, only money. And yeah, it would be safe, and I would die a crotchety old man with riches. But right now, I'm risking my life, but I'm more alive than ever.
And there's that silence that like a parent's silence tells you you said something important there. I need you to think about it. And you're just sitting there in the tub with the inevitability of all of this swirling in your head. There's no other place you could be, either of you. Maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, just the inkling of an idea that what you're doing might be a little more important than just a job. There's something about this. There's a gravitas to this. There's a gathering momentum to this that somehow seems bigger than just getting this damn convoy to point B.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what that is. And right now, too warm, too wet, too damn tired to care. You crawl out of the tub because you got to go to dinner. And as you towel off, we will drop the curtain on tonight.
Yes. Thank you. I hope that would be an ending because it's such a good moment to end it on.
A calm spot. I want to quickly jump out of game for a second before I get to the thank yous. I keep saying I love it when my players get around encounters. You guys got around 4 just today. So I had to really work to drag us out to almost 2 hours because we skipped pages and pages of stuff because of your brilliance. So congratulations on that. Great ideas lead to great stories, and it doesn't all have to end in a hail of gunfire. One well-placed shot, as we have found out over and over again, one good idea, as we found out over and over again, solves problems. This is like, I could use this as a tutorial in how to role play at extremely high levels. You guys are thinking to yourselves, never mind outside the box, you're thinking to yourselves around corners. It is so good. You guys make me sweat, and that I'll brag my ass off right here. That's hard to do. It's hard to make me work this hard. You went places. You literally went to a place I didn't think you were going to go tonight. I didn't think you'd go to see the dodeca pods at all. They were just supposed to be the sort of thing in the distance before the cats attacked you. But you said we're going, and I thought, great, now I got to make this up. Let's go. So thank
But
you.
it was so cute. I
Well,
love the plushies.
This ties into the thank yous because we are getting
And I
there.
have shock how many luck I have dice.
You know what though? That is such a dirty 20 thing. We could talk all day about luck and dice and whatever you want to blah 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 blah. The historically the dice have, no matter what system we use, whether we roll real dice, virtual dice, roll 20 dice, hero forge, or anybody's dice, it doesn't seem to matter. The stories get told and the dice work with us. Those 20s tonight were at perfect narrative times, just
Yeah.
absolutely spot on narrative times. um, I'll use the encounters elsewhere, don't worry.
Yes, and I'm very, very happy that John got his ass kicked so
Yep,
much.
John went to
It
0.
just
Yep.
fits so much
Yep.
with the story.
So with that, the thank yous. Thank you so much to Brilchan. You went with me all night tonight, and I appreciate the heck out of that. Go ahead, kill. Yeah, knock me to 0. We're fine. You. That level of trust is something that is earned by a GM, and I'm very, very proud to
Yeah.
say I earned it from you. So thank you for playing John.
did.
He's absolutely wonderful, and I also love the fact that John is developing, but they are resisting with every fiber of their being because they don't want to change because they're
Yes.
perfect, except they're beginning to understand that they're not. So
Yes,
classic role-play.
that's the madness he has, and it's a slow process to get
Yep.
out of those
And
thought patterns.
and Janet, Ashley makes me laugh. They make me cry. I believe I would recognize Ashley if I met them on the street. It's like I know you, right? I understand that this all business, but there's this human underneath it, this caring human being that just nobody but Dizzy and your family gets to see, right? This is, it's amazing. You guys are both actors as well as role players, and those are different things. So thank you so much for that.
And thank you for game.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys are inspiring. You
Yes.
literally made me sweat today. So thank you so much. Also, thank you for staying up until the middle of the night. I know it's earlier than our other games, but it's still not a normal time of the day. So thank you for that.
2 o'clock at night.
2 a.m. We're finishing up. You guys are amazing.
Yep.
Wow.
And I loved that Ashley, like John got to see the Ashley behind the mask when she took the bracelet.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Again, just out of character a little bit, John, you're going to get to use all those social skills next week. You guys are now inside a little town. You're going to be here for a while. There's stuff to do. So,
Like me as a player, I don't have any problems. It was just John
oh yeah,
getting
well,
better.
I'm giving.
Me
I
as a
make damn
player,
sure.
I'm very happy.
I make damn sure that every player, every character gets to shine. So your turn is.
Yes.
We might the next session might be a lot of Ashley trying not to be seen in public, but we'll see. We'll see how all that works out. So much character growth, so much in 3 episodes. It's amazing. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do character
very,
arcs.
very happy. I'm happy that John got to support Ashley, that he threw her a party.
The story has absolutely hit its stride. We're at full sprint now, and I'm looking forward to it. But with that, I got a couple more thank yous. Thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you, Bison. Thank you, Hellhounds. Thank you, all the people. Thank you for the hammering that happened early on. I appreciate that very much. We have the bestest mods in the whole of the internet. Pop onto these fine folks. We had the links up earlier in chat. Go support these fine folks. Dirty 20 Gaming. We're all there, but go give them a follow. Go check out the Instagrams. Go check out the YouTubes. Go check out the Twitches. And you can, if you didn't find that information, you can find it all over at our Discord. Join us there. If you're watching this on the VOD, thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you watched all the way to here, please hit the buttons at the bottom because we're going to presume you liked it or you wouldn't have watched 2 hours of it. So hit the buttons and we will see you next time. But until next time, as always, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.